Well, folks, we had another red day in the stock market today, and we got to break it down in this video. We're going to go over the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and we have to go over Uber and Lyft. We got some news regarding those companies, DoorDash and Instacart as well. And, of course, we have to break down some other stocks, some including Meta, Microsoft, and some energy stocks. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your water, stay hydrated, guys, and let's dive into the video. So we ended up having a slight red day, I'd say. The Russell went up a little bit, but we had the NASDAQ closed down. Really, the two major indexes in my eyes, the NASDAQ and the S&P, they both went down. S&P down 0.6%, NASDAQ down 1.2%. Again, the Russell barely went up, and we had the Dow also barely go up about 0.1% on the day, as we had the VIX go up 3.6%, and we had gold down 0.8% and silver down about 2%. And later in this video, we're going to take a look at crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are down as well. So overall, I'd say it was a red day today. Even though the Russell and the Dow barely eked out a green day, I'd say, and based on this chart, you guys can see it, the bears really dominated throughout the day. If you guys can see, SPY opened up at about 359, ran down to about 355 at about 10 a.m. on the East Coast, and then we actually saw a huge run. SPY went from 355.80 to about 363. That was about a 2% move in the span of 2.5 hours. And in that same time period, let's see here, triple Q, let's pull that up. It went from 261.50 to about 267.50. That was a move of 2.3%. And then we waited a little bit, or not waited a little bit, but as you know, a couple hours went by, market started to slip, and they slipped very fast. I mean, we hit 267.50 on triple Q here at about noon, 12:30 here on the East Coast. And then by, what time was this? 3 o'clock, right at the start of power hour, a little bit into power hour, we were at 261. So we essentially erased that entire gain that we saw just like that. We ran up 2.5%. Then we lost it, and we actually took the lows out from earlier in the day. You guys can see here the low from 10 a.m. on the East Coast was about 261.70. We took that out. We hit 261, and then we saw a little bit of a rally heading into the close. But overall, you guys can see it's clear that the bears are in charge, and triple Q is at fresh lows, guys. I mean, look at the 4-hour chart. Today, we just hit a fresh low there at 261.03. And let me see, where's SPY at, guys? It's probably right there as well in terms of being right by those lows. Let's see, SPY's at 358.12. Look at that. It actually closed under 358 on the day, and the low from about a week and a half ago was right around 357. Where was that? Actually, no, 355.08. So we're pretty much, guys, right there. And I think the low of the day was, look at that. The low of the day was right around 355.70. So we're pretty much at the lows, guys. Triple Q took the lows out. SPY's pretty much there. And at this point, really, it's the calm before the storm. I said this earlier. I'll say it again. If this CPI data comes in hotter than expected, I mean, you got to be honest with yourselves. The markets are probably going to come down. I mean, it might not come down. Who knows? It might shock everybody. That's happened before. But if we break, or if that CPI comes in higher than expected, we're breaking 355. No doubt in my eyes. SPY's probably going towards that pre-COVID all-time high, which I've mentioned before, but I'll mention it now again, was right around 340. Do you guys not see how close we are now? I was saying this 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, when this thing was at over 400, SPY was, and I mentioned 340. Watch out for that point. We're right there now. We're pretty much there. That is seriously how close we are. We're just, one leg down away, one bad day, maybe a couple bad days away from being at the pre-COVID highs. And triple Q, let's take a look at this quickly before we transition into crypto. The pre-COVID high was right around 235, 240 roughly. Now we're at 260. So again, we're pretty much right there, guys. We're getting dang close. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What are you guys doing? Are you buying? Are you selling? And I love that a lot of you commented where you guys were from earlier. That's awesome. I have a lot of viewers all across the world, which is great. Now, comment down below what you've been buying. Are you buying stocks right now? Are you sitting cash? Are you buying index funds, mutual funds? Let me know in the comments. Seriously, I want to know what you guys are buying. Let me know in the comments. And with that being said, let's break down some news. Let's break down. Actually, wait. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. before we dive into the news, we have Meta, we have Microsoft, we have Lyft and Uber. Let's talk about crypto. Let's not jump the script here, guys. Let's transition with a little bit of crypto here. So right now, like I said, metals are down. Everything went down today except for the Russell and the Dow. Bitcoin went down, or it is down. I mean, it doesn't close ever. It's 24/7 if you guys didn't know. Now it is down currently about 0.5%. You can see it is at $19,000 flat, and guys, it is still consolidating. Bitcoin is still consolidating at about 19, 18.5, 18,000, 20,000, this little $2,000, $1,500 window. This is where, if you guys have been watching it, this is where Bitcoin has been consolidating for the past couple of months. Really, it's been about 4 months now, almost 4 months since the middle of June of 2022, back in the beginning of the summer. So yeah, not much has really changed. It's down on the day a little bit, but it's still in that little range that we've been watching it in, and we really have to pick direction. Is Bitcoin going to break out of 24,000, 25,000? That'd be a nice pop, a good spot for the bulls. We might get a pop towards 32, 34 at that point if things get really strong to the upside, maybe even 30,000. If Ethereum, or rather, before we even get to Ethereum, if we break under, let's say 18,000, 17.5, we take those lows out from June, obviously there'd be more red at that point. So really, we have to pick a direction. We're just not getting that yet. Bitcoin is just, it's the calm before the storm, guys, and who knows, maybe the CPI data here that we get spurs a move in Bitcoin and Ethereum. If I pull up Ethereum right now, let's see what this is doing. Last I checked, it was red. Yeah, still red, down 0.8%, chilling at about $12.80 a coin right now. And what are we noticing here? This is a head and shoulders on Ethereum. Do you guys see it? If I pull up maybe the 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, or maybe the 4 hour chart. Let's see here, guys. Yeah, 4 hour chart. You guys see that? We have the left shoulder clear as day, the head right here. We got the right shoulder, and looks like there's more downside on this right shoulder. I mean, if we break under, let's say 1250 in the short term here on Ethereum, this could be getting down towards maybe not 900. I mean, maybe it does go to 900, but I'd be banking more 1,000, 1,050, maybe 1,100, roughly in that ballpark. That is where I'm watching Ethereum, because again, bulls are not, or rather the bears are in charge here. Again, we have that head and shoulders. This does not look like it wants to reverse at all by any stretch of the imagination to the upside. Again, it looks like it wants to go down more. So that's how I'm going to be watching it, guys. That's how I'm playing it. And that's just my honest opinion. So if you guys want 12 stocks from this platform right here, which is called Webull, simply use my link down below. Deposit any amount of money, and you could get 12 stocks each. Well, I don't know what each could be valued up to, but all of them could be valued up to $30,000. All the details are linked down below. And just know, guys, if you get 12 stocks from Webull, 15 stocks from Moomoo, if you use those links down below, full disclosure, it does help out the channel, and I appreciate you guys as always. Cheers. We got some water. Stay hydrated. But today, we also got, I'm giving Pepsi promo here, guys, but we also got some Pepsi. I don't really drink soda often, but when I do, I like me some Pepsi. I get some flack for that. A lot of people are like, Stas, what the heck, man? Or maybe not you guys, but actually my fiance, she's like, how do you like Diet Pepsi? The stuff's too sweet. Diet Coke's better. But I don't know. I have a sweet tooth sometimes, and I like the Pepsi. What do you guys like more? Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi? Do you just drink water? Well, water is better for you anyway. But when you drink soda, what do you guys drink? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let's get back to ThinkOrSwim here and talk about what the heck is going on with Uber and Lyft. These stocks are moving down like no other right now after the bell, and this is because, get this, guys, let me pull up my notes so we can get into this. They are trying to classify, I think the Biden administration, they're trying to push through something to classify their employees, which now, well, they're not employees, they're workers, I guess you could call them. They want to process, or, what's it called? They're currently independent contractors. They want them to be employees, right? Which we're going to get into in this video. So look at Uber right now. Let's pull it up. Uber is down after the bell. And mind you, it closed at, well, not after the bell. This news came out, earlier. It went down on the day over 10%. And we had Lyft go down, let's see here, about 12%. And mind you guys, these stocks, it's not like they've been doing well heading into this. they've been clobbered the whole year. Now they're going down even more. I mean, look at Lyft. The all-time high on this thing was $68. Now it hit $10 today. It's at $11 right now. It is down, what is that, 80%? Yeah, 85%. That is unreal. I don't think Uber's down as much. Let's see here. But still, I mean, it's not looking any better, guys. I mean, at this point, Uber's at $24, all-time high $64. It is down 66%. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. This is unreal. So let's get into it. I got my notes right here. My iPad's dead, but it's all good. We got the phone, guys. We got the phone. So the Biden Labor Department released a proposal on Tuesday today that could make it possible for gig workers to be reclassified as employees rather than contractors, which, if you guys know about these jobs, the whole idea is to be your own boss, kind of, right? And pick the hours you want. Maybe you want to work 5 hours this day, 2 hours the next. Maybe you don't want to work at all on this day, right? That's kind of the idea behind these businesses, right? And it comes after a court reinstated a Trump-era rule. I think there wasn't there a problem with this before. It comes after a court reinstated a Trump-era rule. Biden's Labor Department tried to block that, would have made it easier to classify gig workers as contractors. The proposed rule, if adopted, could raise costs for companies like Lyft, Uber, Instacart, and DoorDash that rely on contract workers to pick up shifts on their own schedules. And this has been the back and forth before. People are arguing they're doing this only because it saves them money. And then the flip side, it's like, no, they're doing this because people, could work there and pick their own hours. It's more accommodative to the employee, right? But people are arguing that flexible schedules, again, are attractive to workers, but other labor experts are saying, and labor activists, that they're disagreeing with this because they're saying companies use the contractor model, like I said a second ago, to reduce their costs because they don't have to pay health benefits, overtime pay, and other workers, protections that they have. So personally, guys, to be honest, I don't have much of an opinion on this. I don't own Uber. I don't own DoorDash. I forgot to mention that. DoorDash is another one. I don't own any of these stocks, so I personally don't have an opinion on it. But to be honest, looking at it from an unbiased perspective, if this goes through, if they have to classify their workers as employees and they have to pay them health benefits, I believe if they work over 40 hours, usually if you work like 35 hours or something, you don't get health benefits, and a lot of people or a lot of companies hire you at 38 hours a week for that exact reason. But if they're working 40 hours, they have to pay health benefits, overtime. That's going to be more money out of these companies' pockets, which, guys, hello, wake-up call. These companies aren't making money to begin with. So, I mean, this is going to make what is a losing business, it's going to make it even worse. DoorDash is losing money hand over fist, and it's not like they're trying to be profitable right now. I mean, obviously the strategy is to reinvest as much money as possible into advertising, workers, independent contractors, whatever you want to call it, marketing, all that good stuff, and then make money later, be profitable later. But at some point, I mean, you really got to look at this and be like, is this even something worth investing in? I mean, they're losing money now. This is a huge fundamental shift. If this goes through in these businesses, it's not going to be pretty, in my opinion. So that's my take. I think they're going to be losing money hand over. They're already losing a ton of money. This is going to make them go and lose even more money, which makes this really not an attractive investment at all. And I'm talking about DoorDash. I'm talking about Uber. I'm talking about what's the other one? Lyft. These are not ones that I would ever really invest in. And honestly, I've said this before. I mean, years ago, I was telling you guys, I don't like Uber or Lyft or any of these stocks. I would never consider buying them. And here we are. Their stocks are down a ton, and I'm still not buying them. I'm still not buying them, guys. So with that being said, let me get some water in my system because we're doing a lot of talking in this video, and we're not editing this video. So cheers, guys. Alrighty, so what's next? we have Meta and Microsoft. Now that we're transitioning a little bit from Lyft and Uber, let's talk about what's going on with Meta. So they unveiled their new, what are they called? No, the Quest. Yeah, I forgot the name for a second. They debuted the Meta Quest Pro VR goggle, or a headset that will cost $1,500. And I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but the previous model was $400. So we're talking about an $1,100 increase here on this product. But what do you expect? I mean, we're talking about increased technology, or a better technology. We're talking about the future. It's the future, bro, right? It's the future, bro. We're talking about, moving forward here with potentially the metaverse, and, all that goes into that. So it kind of makes sense. That's the price point. Maybe it's a little bit expensive. I'm not a tech nerd or a tech genius, or, I couldn't really tell you if it's very overpriced, because, to be honest, is there anything that we could really compare that to? But overall, people are probably thinking it's overvalued or overpriced, which it might be. Who knows? I don't know if I'm personally going to buy it. Would I buy it for $1,500? I don't know. That's a little steep, but that's what's coming out right now. We got the $1,500 Quest Pro VR headset, and during this online event, Microsoft and Meta, they discussed a partnership that is going to bring some of the company's, Microsoft's, work collaboration apps to Quest VR services. And I've used the older Quest. I'm not sure if you guys have tried it out, and it's freaking sick, honestly. I mean, you put this thing on, and it's like you're in a complete other world, and that's kind of where I saw the vision. I'm not one of these guys that, loves the metaverse or thinks it's great for humanity, or I want to live in the metaverse. Quite frankly, honestly, which kind of makes me a hypocrite now that I think about it. But hear me out here. I think the metaverse is the future, to be honest. Not that we're all going to live in it, or it's going to be our all-day life, but I feel like it's going to come to a point where, instead of playing video games, or instead of, let's say you watch a football game at your house, right? Instead of watching it at your house on the TV or playing Xbox on the TV, you're going to be in the metaverse. You might be able to put your VR set on, or whatever it's called at that point, right? And you could be watching the football game like you're actually there. And that probably will cost money. Of course, there's going to be a ton of money made from this. I mean, of course. I mean, you guys know that. But I'm just, this is what's going to come from it. And I don't even know where am I going with this. The point is, I don't think it's going to be healthy, because, on the flip side, people are going to be able to, do it for an hour or 2 hours here and there, go have fun a little bit, right? Which are people that are going to be able to use it in moderation. But there's going to be people that are going to be in the metaverse full time, because, let's be honest, they don't like their actual life. So that's the problem with it. And again, I go back and forth with this in my head sometimes. Like, I'm invested in Meta. I want to buy more Meta. I think the metaverse is the future, and I kind of want to have some exposure to that. But then again, on the flip side, it's like, dang, people are going to be in the metaverse, especially our kids. I'm 26, 27. Like, when I have kids, like, do I want them really to be in the metaverse and not experience real life? I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't want them to be exposed to that. So I feel like a hypocrite, kind of. You know what I mean, guys? I'm being honest here. I'm being really honest about Meta. But again, I want some exposure to it. And the reality is, like, the future's coming whether we want it to come or not. That's just the hardcore reality. Like, people 10 years ago probably looked at the smartphone. They're like, come on, I'm not using the smartphone. Those kids are going to be glued on the smartphone. We can't use that. But, lo and behold, 10 years later, everybody's got a smartphone. Everybody's using it. So I feel like the metaverse is going to be like that. People are going to be like, I'm not using that. It's not the future. It's not going to work out. But then, lo and behold, 10, 15 years go by, and you're watching football games in the metaverse. You're, playing Xbox a little bit. There's going to be people that are going to be living in the metaverse. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I kind of went on a little side tangent there, but overall, they're going into a partnership right now, which, again, Microsoft 365, some of those, apps are going to be in the Quest, device, the software, right? And you will be able to play 2D games according to Satya Nadella. Wait, yeah, that's Satya, right? Hold on. What the heck's his first name? Nadella. Yeah, what's his first name? Satya, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's saying you'll be able to play 2D 2D games with your Xbox controller projected on a massive screen on Quest, yada, yada, yada. So this is early day stuff, guys, but it could be the beginning of something big. So I know we kind of got philosophical there a little bit with Meta and the metaverse, but I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Seriously, are you going to be a person that is going to be fully in the metaverse all the time? Are you going to go into it a little bit, or do you not want any exposure to it at all, or you don't want to acknowledge it at all? What are you guys thinking about that? Let me know in the comments, and it's going to be interesting to see how that does end up unfolding. So we're about 20 minutes in. Let's see what else we have on the list. I really wanted to cover Uber, Lyft, Meta, and Microsoft, and I feel like we did that, and we got a little philosophical there on Meta. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, guys. So maybe that's it for the video. Honestly, that might be a good spot to end it. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe and check out my Patreon. If you guys want all my buys, sells, call outs, everything I'm up to, exclusive content, more access to me throughout the day, use that link down below or go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon to join. And don't forget to get your 15 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit and your 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. All those are free stocks, guys. And again, full disclosure, it helps out the channel. I'll appreciate you guys. As always, I appreciate you. I think I mixed that up. Either way, I'm talking too much. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out. Stay safe out there.